Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to install the Road Armor Vaquero front bumper on this 2017 Chevy Silverado 2500. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so we've already got our front bumper off. We got our grill back on. If you need help taking your front bumper off, we have a video for that. You can go ahead and check that out. But from right here, we're going to take our driver's side bracket, and the way you can tell that one from the passenger side is your opening is going to face towards the middle of the truck, and it's going to fit right over your frame. It's going to be kind of snug, so you might have to have a mallet to tap it on. All right, once you have that bracket in place, the first bolt that we're going to put through, your kit's going to come with these bolt plates, and it's going to go right through the center where your tow hook was. And if you got your factory tow hook still, you can reinstall it with this kit. You'll just put it at the bottom of the bracket. We don't have our factory tow hook, so we're not going to do that. But then you're just going to put a washer, a lock washer, and a nut on the bottom of that. And we're just going to go hand tight for right now until we get all our bolts in, and then we can go back and tighten them up. So next on the front, you're going to have two factory bolts on the bottom. One on each side. We're just going to go ahead and thread those in by hand. And then at your top two locations, you're going to use two more bolt plates. In your kit, you're going to have 4 that are smaller bolts, and then the rest are going to be larger bolts. For these two, we're going to use the 2 that are the smaller bolts. And they're just going to fit right behind your factory bracket. And again, on the back side, you're going to put a washer, lock washer, and a nut. All right, and our last bolt is going to be the long one that comes in the kit. It's going to go through your bracket and through the frame with a washer on the head side. And it's going to go all the way through. And then on the other side, we're going to again put a washer, lock washer, and a nut. Now we can go back and tighten up all this hardware. So I'm going to use a 19mm on our provided hardware. And then on our factory bolts, we're going to use a 16mm. All right, so next you're going to want to take out your factory sensors out of your original bumper. And you're also going to want to remove the factory clips, because that's what we're going to use to hold in the sensors to our new bumper. And at this time, we're just going to install the 2 outermost brackets and sensors. And they're just going to pop right in, same way that you took them out of your factory bumper. They're just going to fit right in. And then you're going to push it right back in place, making sure that it is pointed towards the center. And we're going to go ahead and do that on the other side as well. All right, so now we're going to take our sensor harness that we took out of our factory bumper, and we're going to go ahead and plug that into the 2 sensors that we have installed. They're just going to fit right back over. Make sure you push your red tab in. And if you are using your factory fog lights, you can go ahead and plug those in as well. If not, you can kind of just zip tie those out of the way. As you can see, we have some cube lights that we're going to use, and we're going to go ahead and wire those up later. And we're not going to show you that in this video because each cube is going to be, they might want you to wire it a different way depending on which ones you go with. But we're going to go ahead and plug this in on the other side as well. Alright guys, so at this point we're ready to actually put our bumper on the truck, and I just want to kind of show you how that's going to go before we actually do it. So your two brackets on your truck are going to match up to your two brackets on your bumper here. As you can see, these have horizontal slots and these have vertical slots. That's going to give you the ability to shift the bumper from side to side as well as up and down to give the best positioning to get nice and tight up against the grill and your light. So the way that that's going to work is once we get it up here, these bolt tabs, you're going to have 4 for each side, and they're going to go in the back of the bracket that's currently on the truck, and then you're going to fit the bumper on here, and then over the top of that you're going to put a washer, a lock washer, and then a nut. And you're going to do that on all 8 locations. Okay guys, you're also going to want to make sure that you tape all the surfaces that could come in contact with the bumper. So we have taped all the way around the front, and we also taped a couple spots along our big grill guard here. And that's just to make sure that when we're putting it on that we don't accidentally hit the bumper or the grill and scuff up any of the paint. So we just want to protect that, and we're going to use some blue tape to do that. Alright, so you're probably going to need a couple people to help you put it in place. Ooh, back it off a little bit, sorry. Higher going. Okay. Alright, and from here we can adjust it up and down and side to side as we need, and then we can go ahead and tighten them down. Alright, so now we're going to use a couple floor jacks to lift the bumper into place. And make sure you check your clearances everywhere. Make sure you go back and forth on the sides to see if it needs to come up a little bit. But once you're satisfied with the positioning, then you can go ahead and tighten your bolts down. Okay, so now that we got our bumper on the vehicle and tight, we're going to now take our center section, and if you have a 20-inch light bar that fits in the middle, you can go ahead and install that now. But we're going to go ahead and install our middle sensors. So they're going to install the same way that you took them out. And on our center section, they have these welded on tabs that are already on there. So we're just going to fit that in and push it until it snaps in place. You might have to pry on the tabs a little bit. You might have to pry them out a little bit to get it in there. So once we get our sensors into the centerpiece, we can go ahead and install that. it's going to come up under the bumper and it's going to sit inside this groove here, and it's going to attach with 2 bolts here and here, and that's going to be the same on both sides. So once we get into position, you're going to have to kind of hold it there, and then you can reach in right through here, feed your first bolt through, which should hold the whole thing there, and then you can go on the other side, feed your bolt through, and same thing with the top bolt. On the back side of each of those bolts, you're going to get a washer, a lock washer, and a nut. All right, now we can go ahead and tighten all 4 bolts down. Now that our center piece is in, we can go ahead and plug in our 2 center sensors. They're going to plug in just the same as the outer 2 did that we did earlier. We can go ahead and plug in our wire harness back into the truck. Okay guys, well that completes the installation. If you have any questions, give us a call or visit us online. Thanks.